In this video, I will share 5 tips to help you get your work done faster, and I'm confident that you will learn at least one new thing in the next few minutes. So do watch till the end. So you're on GitHub reviewing a pull request or a branch, and you think, man, I wish I could navigate this faster. No worries, while viewing a pull request, just press the period key and out of nowhere a VS Code instance will spin up. Here you can look at the diff, search, and go about the code base as if this was a normal VS Code instance. You're going about your business connecting APIs that the backend team built, then for whatever reason, due to some change in the config, your requests start failing due to CORS, and you realize you can't really get this fixed right away. Well, there is a escape hatch for this, and it's probably not a good idea for reasons that will become very obvious very quickly, but it's a escape hatch, so take it for what it's worth. So here we have an API request that is failing due to CORS. Now to bypass this, what you can do is go to where your Chrome is installed. For me, that's in Program Files, Google Chrome application. Then in the address bar, just type cmd to open the command prompt, and let's make this a little bit bigger. Then type in the following command. What this will do is it will start a Chrome session with the web security disabled. Also, I'll leave a reference to this command in the video description. Now let's run this and see what we get. So it created a new instance of Chrome for me, and let's run our test over here again. Let me bring up the network pane and let's run this again. There we go, this request works perfectly, whereas here it is failing. Again, use it responsibly. Working with IDEs and code editors is most efficient when we can utilize the hotkeys that it provides. But oftentimes they can be awkward or hard to remember. What if you could trigger the most useful hotkeys with a consistent, simple pattern without any conflicts? People who have used a Razer keyboard before might be familiar with Hypershift, with which you can map the caps lock plus another key to a complex shortcut. But you can get this working on any keyboard really. Let's see how. First, head on over to autohotkey.com, then download and install the latest version. I already have it installed, so I'm gonna skip this step. Also, I would like to encourage you to go into the documentation here and fiddle with it, as this is an extremely powerful tool. Anyways, after it's installed, right-click anywhere in a folder to create a new script. I already have a folder called AHK Shortcuts that I use for my workflows. I'm gonna call it VS Code Shortcuts. Now let's edit the script. Making this work is super simple. First, I am just going to tell it to keep the caps lock off so it won't turn on when I press it. Next, I am going to make my shortcuts only run in VS Code. For this, I will go to AutoHotkeys install location. Then run Windows Spy. And then I will click on VS Code. This will give me the exe name that I can use to write my code. Now the script will only run for VS Code. Next, as an example, let's simplify some of the two-handed shortcuts. The ones I use the most are delete line, copy and move line up or down. These 5 will be mapped to E, Q, A, W, and S. Okay, there we go. Each of these symbols map to a modifier key. Here is a quick reference of what they mean. Also, don't use capital letters here. Use lowercase. Now we can just start our script and it will persist in the background. Also, we can have it run at startup so that it's always active. Let's have a look at the result. I'm going to hold down the caps lock key the whole time. So I'm just gonna move this line up, move this line down, and I'm doing this all like with a one-handed control. Also, let's just delete line. That will be E, right? So E, E, copy down, move, E again. And as an added bonus, the default hotkeys still work. So if your colleague is helping you out, they won't feel confused. An API request fails and you want to debug it outside of the browser or share it with your backend teammate. The easiest way to go about this is heading over to the Chrome DevTools, the Network tab, and then right-click your API request, copy, and copy as curl bash. Now you can share it with your teammate or run it in a tool like Postman by going to File, Import, Raw Text, and let's paste it right here. Continue, import. Now you can run the request as many times as you like. Just keep in mind before sharing that for authenticated requests, the auth token is likely going to come along for the ride as well. For some reason, I haven't really seen this feature used a lot, even though it's pretty ancient. If you're using VS Code and working on multiple related repositories such as a front-end, a design system, a core library, and a backend, then there is really no need for each of them to be worked on in a separate VS Code instance. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have a set of related repositories and each one of them has their own Git versioning. Now let's open VS Code, and instead of opening the folder here like we do usually, let's go to File, Add Folder to Workspace, and let's add Web. Okay, our first folder appears here. Now let's repeat the process for the other two. Server and common. Now we can work across all the three related repositories, control their Git commits individually, and have VS Code respect each of their settings, as well as open terminals to work on a particular repository. Alright, I hope this video was helpful and you learned something new. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.